Hey, I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a little different from my usual videos. I was looking through my channel recently and I realized that it's been a little over a year since I started making videos on this channel, and it got me into a reflective state of mind, with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about how important that is and how it led to me making my YouTube channel. See, I always like making videos going all the way back to high school, making videos for my school projects or my friends' school projects on Windows Movie Maker, or just goofing off and showcasing stupid talents like this. It was fun making those videos on my original channel back then, but I never really did anything with it, and then life just kind of went on and I got wrapped up with school and then eventually work, and then that was it until last year. I feel like I stopped nurturing that creative side of me. I was following the traditional plan of going to college and then getting a job, so obviously that was all going to take a backseat. One thing about me is whenever I set a goal, I'll do whatever it takes within my power to make sure I reach those goals. I was the honor roll student, staying up late finishing up essays and assignments and studying for exams. I came from immigrant parents and was the first to go to college, graduated with honors, and got my degree. And thankfully, I was able to get a good paying job right out of college. I was checking those boxes for that plan, and it wasn't without failures. I had highs and I had lows. I fell on my face plenty of times, and as cliched as it sounds, I got back up. But in the back of my head, I kept hearing that little voice from time to time, that itch that was going unscratched. My creative side wasn't being fulfilled. As time went on, I moved up in my job, but it was so demanding at times that I was working 50, 60, 70, and even 80 plus hour work weeks occasionally. Remember when I said I'd do whatever it takes to accomplish a goal? Well, sometimes that was to my own detriment. Work was priority number one. I would fall off the face of the planet at times of the year, staying up all night trying to finish up some work and meet some demanding deadlines. 5 years later, what was I left with? My mental health was in the shitter. I had gained so much weight as a result of neglecting my physical health and my mental health. I had such a low sense of self-worth, and while my anxiety was through the roof. Something needed to change, and I needed to break that cycle. So I quit. I had just gotten a raise and I was making more money than I ever had in my entire life, but it didn't matter to me. I needed time to recharge and reassess, rebuild myself. I knew I wanted to do YouTube, but I didn't have a single clue what to do. Before I even uploaded my first video, I probably spent months looking at tutorials and practicing. I keep this note next to me. It says, "Perfectionism is procrastination." It's true. I was procrastinating and not starting my channel. This is something I've always struggled with, but I'm working on it. Being happy enough with something to put it out there. In the meantime, I was working out because that just seemed way easier than uploading a video. Obviously, your physical health is just as important as your mental health, but it was just less taxing on my mind to lose myself in working out. Time went on and I lost about 30 pounds from my highest ever weight. And I was so proud of that. I was finally making some progress on this journey. I have this poster in my workout room. It's one of those cheesy office posters with a cat that says "hang in there." I thought it would be funny to keep that in the workout room, but it did work. Now I had no more excuses for not putting out videos. I had to be comfortable putting something out there even if I didn't feel like it was my best work. That perfectionist in me would keep saying things like, "Oh, I don't like how I said that," or "I need to rewrite that sentence, it sounds weird." I'm sure other creators can relate. I pulled that trigger and said F it and uploaded my first video. After all, you're never going to get better if you never start. My first video was doing a VR escape room, and I stayed doing the VR thing for a while. It was supposed to be a 2-part video, but I just decided to move on to the next video. Then eventually I made my first video essay, the Death of MySpace video, and that popped out for a bit. I was on a high. I feel like that video validated my whole decision, that I was good enough to make videos. With each upload, I just wanted to get better, whether it was editing, speaking, or storytelling. That was my goal. Doing video essays was a much different beast from doing VR gameplays. I found myself pouring hours into researching, script writing, and recording, and before I knew it, I was almost spending just as much time at making videos than I was at my job. But it didn't matter. It didn't feel like work. I was happy working on something I put my all into. I made a Mr. Rogers video, and that meant so much to me because growing up, he was one of the people that nurtured my creative side. I read his whole biography in less than a week, which is a lot for me because I don't read much. But I love creating. I love making people laugh. That brings me fulfillment. I was always the class clown in school. All that is fundamental to who I am as a person. It's part of my core. Shortly after quitting, I got this tattoo on my back. It means creativity and uniqueness. Now I know what you're thinking. Chinese characters are the least creative and unique tattoos out there, but that's the joke. And it's a reminder to myself of how important being creative is to me. I think people suffer mentally when they don't get to be their true selves, whatever that may be. And I get it. That's part of life. Life is full of moments where you have to do things that you don't like because you need to. We all put on these different masks in different situations to get ahead. For better or worse, it's part of human nature. But the problem becomes when we stop taking those masks off. When you stop nurturing that inner child or that part of you that makes you happy. And that's what I had done. I stopped being a creative person. But I'll never ignore that part of me ever again. If I could go back, would I have done anything differently? Who knows? If it wasn't for my job, I would have never had the opportunity to take the time to dedicate it to creating content. So I'm forever grateful for that. But at least now I have the right perspective and will always find a way to make time for it. I encourage you to always make the time for whatever makes you happy. It doesn't have to get to the extreme level like it did for me. And like I said, I'm still working on improving myself in every way I can. Originally, I was just going to journal this, but I decided to make it a video because I suck at journaling and I probably haven't journaled in months. And I want to get better at expressing my feelings, so it feels like this video is a part of that. I still am fighting perfectionist urges, and sometimes it takes me forever to upload something. Sometimes it feels like that one scene in SpongeBob where he's competing against King Neptune in that Krabby Patty making contest, and King Neptune makes 1,000 patties by the time SpongeBob makes that one, but that one is like really good. You know, that's kind of how I feel like I'm doing it. But like I said, I'm working on it. This video is mostly for me getting all that out there, but if this message resonates with anybody out there, then I feel like I've done my good deed for the day. I want to send a special thank you to my support group of close friends and family, because without them, I don't know where I'd be. You guys know who you are. And if there's anyone still out there at this point in the video, I just want to say thank you for watching me ramble for a few minutes. At the time of recording this, I turned 30 in less than 24 hours, so this just sounds like a midlife crisis thing. To an extent, that was a part of the reason I took the leap of faith, because at the end of the day, I didn't want to be left wondering what if. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'll be back hopefully soon with more videos. And don't forget, hang in there.